Yeah, I think that's up and running. I just wanted to do a quick check, make sure that everything was working. The last time I tried to do a live video, it kept crashing. So here's hoping that this one doesn't, because kind of looking forward to doing a live chat with some of the dudes. Hopefully they will be able to join me. I've not had firm confirmation yet. Some of them are probably still sleeping on Crunch Island, probably recovering from the exertions of last weekend, but plenty to talk about. So everything seems to be working okay. So let's hope that let me just try this button here. It's not doing anything. So what try here is I'll try opening up this one, see what happens. And if that works, then I think we're good to go for later. Try a bit of this. I must say I thoroughly enjoyed my time in Manitowoc. Didn't know what to expect, to be honest. How can you possibly know what what's going to happen, or what the place is like? But as I've mentioned before, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Really nice place. Really enjoyed the well, everything about the weekend, obviously. Lag, but other than that, okay. Oh, thanks, Julie. Yeah, a little bit of lag. That's probably the journey back from Chicago, which went very smoothly, I must admit. And I think we were in the Legion in Galashiels by about what time we got back into the the Legion. We had a couple of beers at Edinburgh when we got off the plane. We then got our tickets for the bus journey back to the train station, but then we couldn't find the return train tickets at all. So it was just a case of had to pay for them again, but that wasn't too bad. It was about 15 quid, which is about the same price as half a tank of fuel over there in America. I was very impressed with the cost of fuel. Anyway, let's put it back to this one so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I think everything's working okay. So, well, here, fingers and toes crossed that I can get the dude and others to join in later on this evening, and just to sort of talk about one or two things to do with the rally. Obviously, I still find it incredible. Larry, yes. Scott Taddick was there at the sort of after rally party, but I only saw him from a distance, and I thought, no, I'm not gonna. The last thing I would do is go and make a scene. One or two other people noticed him there. I got the impression he was a little bit sort of stay out of it, not. I really don't want to go too much into that, because we all love Barb to bits, to be honest. It's it's a tricky one, that one. But yeah, he was there, and I did notice him out the corner of my eye. But I wasn't going to make a point of going and speaking to him. I think Eunice did outside because they were outside having a cigarette. As you know, I don't smoke. Julie, glad you enjoyed the rally. Did you like the dude's chorizo and eggs? Unfortunately, I'd have to agree. Yes, they weren't the greatest thing I've ever had in the world. But then the dude wasn't trying to say they are the greatest thing in the world. It's just something that I got the impression it was a kind of a nostalgic thing for him, something that he does every Saturday morning. So yeah, but look, I wouldn't pay mega bucks for it in a restaurant, but if I suppose if we'd have been in Australia and he'd have been served with his own chorizo and eggs, there would have been zero mumping. So I suppose in that sense, that what kind of value could you put on them? I mean, priceless, I suppose. Julie, I'd like to know that too. Carol, hello, Carol. Nice to see you here. Larry, yeah. As I say, it's just one of those situations where he certainly wasn't at the rally. At the rally itself, family members were Pete Dussey, Carla, Bob, Dolores, Brad Dussey, who I know he winds up one or two of the family, but it was good having him there. You know, he's fully in support of Brendan. Obviously, Carla's husband, Stacey. I know I'm going to get one or two, but listen, it was really good. Really enjoyed the rally, and it was a case of I was worried about the fact that everybody was saying that you need to bring shades and power cells for the sun. You know, be careful of sunstroke and sun cream. I would just like to point out it wasn't too hot. You know, it was hot. You know, don't get me wrong. It was hot at the rally, but it wasn't too hot. I mean, at no time was I sort of like really, really struggling with the heat. I think it was Sharon that pointed out that everybody else seemed to be in like hoodies and coats and jackets and jumpers and stuff, and I was there with my Aussie t-shirt, and I'm thinking, what? Anyway, let's get on to the serious stuff. Hi there, Making a Murderer, the French Wrecking Crew. And Carol, you would think he would have enough respect and show support for Brendan, but he'll know he doesn't give Bob no respect. Yeah, I'd like to. Oh. It's interesting. One of the things that has been suggested is that Bob is some sort of protection. I get that. I know speaking to a lot of people, it's they can't really get on with him. Seems to be a bit of a charmer when he meets you for the first time. When you actually get to know him, and he's got his own agenda, if you like, then that can be a bit of a problem. So it's I suppose I came across as being a bit sort of confrontational before I went to Manitowoc, but perhaps the place itself, it's such a nice place to go to. It's so relaxed. I was so relaxed the whole time I was there, particularly obviously being with all the guys at the Rally House. Hi, Jerome. Yeah, yeah. I thought it was you. We went through, and I've got a photograph. I'll send you. One of the places we drove through, or road signs we went past, was Belgium, on the way between Chicago and Manitowoc. So yeah. Well, Carol, everybody's thinking of Brendan. I watched. I was out last night at a family get together, and met for the first time my nephew's fiance, and she was saying exactly the same. It's terrible. What's happened to Brendan is just as bad as what's happened to, say, the Central Park Five, Adnan Syed. There's loads of them. I don't know if anybody's watched it yet, but When They See Us had a follow-up show hosted by Oprah Winfrey, and I think you should check that out if you haven't done. Yeah, we saw you dance. You danced like a. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind. It was 2:30, 3:30, 4 in the morning. It was the party after the party after the party after the rally. So I think you have to give me a little bit of leeway. Anyway, I better crack on because I've got to head off, and we'll catch you all later on. Everything seems to be working fine. So hold your questions, and we'll catch you later on. Bye for now.